Hey there. So today's video a little bit different. Somebody asked me to do videos with different tools, different implements, and it's worth discussing at this point what sort of sticks, tools we use. That's a fairly standard screamer stick. In fact, it's this stick that I've used in all the videos I've put up recently, that same stick. But because I teach Retirada, I often use a shorter stick as well. So you can see the length of those is somewhat different, but the weight is about the same. This one's made of a much denser rattan than this. Okay, but I'll also train with other things. So here I've got something, it's the same length as my Retirada stick more or less, but it's much heavier. It's made of acetyl delrin. You can find it on eBay if you want to buy it. It's D-E-L-R-I-N, and that is the difference really to my mind between this, which is a training implement. Obviously you can hit people with it and it'll hurt, and this, it's so dense. It feels to me like maybe like the butt of an assault rifle, that kind of dense plastic material. It's almost indestructible, and that's a real weapon. It's like a policeman's club. And then you can go up from there into things like this, which is a indestructible plastic baseball bat. Now clearly what I do with the sticks is going to be different from this, because where I might thrust with a stick like this or like this, I'm not going to thrust with this. But this is, and I'm possibly not going to use it very much one-handed, even though it's quite short. It's shorter than my screamer stick. So, but this is really good. This has a couple of purposes. Firstly, I can practice this kind of thing, and I don't know if you noticed, I switch my hand, so my left hand's at the bottom, and now I bring it up. So I practice this kind of thing, but also it's good for practicing for defence against somebody who's coming at you with the sort of thing you might encounter on the street. And then, obviously we train bladed weapons. Now if I look at my Retirada stick, is about that long, and for Retirada the normal length, it's really easy to establish. I put my arm out like this and put it in my armpit. It just comes to the crease of my wrist like that. That's the correct personalised length. Other styles use different methods. So I know that if you were doing the Strissimo, they tend to go from one elbow to the other like that, which is why I have these two at this length. One's good for that, one's good for Retirada. So I have a bladed weapon. This is probably one of my favourite things to train with. You know, it's just wooden, and it's pretty much the same length as my Retirada stick. And it feels very different in use. The weight of it is here, across the middle. It feels more like a kukri actually. And if I hit things with it, it feels like it's really going to carry. But it's not a finesse weapon. It's like an axe, chop with it. Okay? You could thrust, but that's really not what it's for. But in comparison with a stick, you're going to go for different places. If I whack somebody here with a bladed weapon, that's going to disembowel them. If I hit them here, it's going to make them cross with the stick. Right? Whereas you hit bony parts of the stick, that's what it's good for. And then another weapon I like to use sometimes is this one, which is longer. You can see it's significantly longer. I guess you can see those come that way. Yeah. And this, again, long bladed weapon. It's more of a finesse type of tool. Yeah. You should be thrusting with this and carrying on things like this. Okay. So I want to do two things today. And although the stick is the primary tool for training, this first one I'm going to do is a bladed thing. Okay. So this is Sunkite, and it's another armra, and Sunkite is a hooking thrust. So whereas that's a straight thrust, this is what we're talking about here, a hooking thrust. Okay, and so although I don't want to do it with a stick, I'm going to do this with my long sword. Okay, so to do this Sunkite, armra Sunkite, I'm going to start here. Yeah, and as soon as I've got a bladed weapon, I don't want to have this hand anywhere near it really. So I'll hook across, so this is on my right side, from right to left, and then higher from left to right. Chop down, thrust up, and then take his head clean off. So it'll be like this, 1, 2, 3. And the thing to be careful of is you do not want to go like that. You see that's the flat of the weapon. No, I want to go like that. With a stick it's not so obvious. And one advantage of training with bladed weapons is that you get a good line of force. So if I see these knuckles here, they're in line with the blade. Okay, so as I do things, I want to make it like this. You see, I'm always leading with those knuckles. I don't want to come like this. Well, that's the flat. It's like a Robin Hood movie or something where I smack the sheriff in Nottingham, you know? No. You see, now I'm using the bladed edge all the time, and that's with the long blade. It works the short one as well. You see? Come like this. and I'm always leading with that edge, which is in line with those knuckles. So then, if I come to my stick, it's the same thing. Those knuckles. It's the same if I were to knock a nail in with a hammer. There's the nail. Look, there. I would be doing it like this. If I had a sledgehammer, it'd be like that. Okay, so I'm coming like this. So back to my Sunkite. From here, hook and thrust, chop down, thrust up. At that point I break my elbow and cut across there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish here. I need to go back from here, there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the hooking thrust, I'll do it from the side, you see it differently then. Hook that way, and then that way. Come down as a chop, but then there's a hooking thrust there, and then finish with a cut to the head. And the height I'm doing that is my own neck height. Once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have one more I want to do today. This is a vert stick thing. Okay? And it's Retirada. This is another Dosi Paris thing. So, this is taught to me by a good friend of mine from North Wales. Hey Tony. So, comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the important thing is this is not really a strike. It's to draw the opponent's defence, and then I go with this. So the idea is the opponent will see this and will lift his defence, and then I hit his hands. Okay, so 1, doesn't matter what he's doing, because it might be hitting his block, then hitting again. Come around, butt and hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's retirado. Retirado means retreating. So I can come forward, forward, come back, and then forward again. Okay? Just once more. So I go angle 2, go around my head with an abanico like that, and then come with angle 1. Come back. Fake the butt, and then hit angle 2 again. And I can play with this with a partner, using them to block or counter all sorts of things, using my left hand to pass as well. But this is the basic movement. Once more facing the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in application, I could do it like this. Somebody comes and hits me, angle 1, I block. There. And look what this is. Ready to go straight into it. Okay? Hope that's of interest to you, hope it's been worthwhile. What I'm going to do tomorrow is take all the armra and show you how to break them up and combine them together and so you flow through things freely by yourself. Okay? Have a good evening. Make it train.